Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can facilitate a live game using the basic settings. So I've already created a live game, and just to double check this, it is set to live here. So on the left hand menu, the default tab is leaderboard, but if you skip a few tabs down, you'll see one that says big screen display version. When you click on this, it should open in a new tab, and this is the screen that you want to share with everyone. So if you were in a face-to-face environment, you would like to put this screen up on a projector for everybody to see. Likewise, if you're facilitating over something like Zoom or Microsoft Teams, this is the screen that you want to share with everybody. You'll notice there is a QR code here, so please encourage all your attendees to scan that QR code. As the facilitator, you don't need to scan it yourself, but for this demo, I am actually going to scan it so that I can show you the participant view here on the right hand side, so that you can get both perspectives. So my participant has already scanned it, and you'll notice that it redirects them to a chat with Kunjani that has a join session ID pre-filled message. Okay, what they need to do is send that pre-filled message, and that will join them to the game. Okay, if it's their first time playing, it's going to ask them to enter their name. In this case, I've already played before, so it remembers my name, and it's going to ask me which team I want to join. Okay. Now on this big screen display, you will notice as soon as that participant joins, their name appears in the lobby. Okay. Now that participant is going to choose a team. Let's say they choose Team Elephant. Send that, and you'll then notice that automatically my name is going to jump into Team Elephant on this shared screen. Okay. As the facilitator, you can override this and potentially drag that attendee into a different team. Up to you. So you can have control like that. Then on the attendee's phone, they have the option to preview the rules. So while getting everybody to scan and join their relevant teams, you can encourage them to read the rules if it's their first time playing Kunjani, to familiarize themselves. Okay, so I'll quickly skim through these. Someone's going to get an opportunity to roll a dice. That dice is going to land on what we call a suit character, and here at the bottom we have our usual suspects for the different suits. Each one has its own unique way that the participants need to respond. Okay, the attendees are then going to answer the activity. They're going to answer with either text, voice, or in some cases photo. Then that assessment is going to be analyzed by AI. It's going to give them a score. It's going to tell them what they did well and where there was still potentially room for improvements. Any points that they earn through their answer will then reflect on the leaderboard here. Okay. You will notice here that there's an individual score for the individual, and then also a team's average score. Okay, so let's see what this looks like in reality. Actually, just before we do, I'll quickly skim through the different suits. So the Jolt is rapid recall and quick thinking. If I skip down to the Explain, which is a bit more of a higher order question, this is where you're going to probe, ponder, piece together the bigger picture. The Demonstrate is learning by doing, so this is a role play scenario or an action that they need to perform. The Mystery is a creative task, something a bit more fun and wacky. They might have to tell a story, draw a picture, something like that. And then the Oops is a commonly made mistake. They're going to lose points because of this mistake, so they start on -50, but they can redeem some of those points by unpacking the consequences of their mistake. But do take note that the best case scenario is still going to get at least -10 points. Okay, then the opposite of that is the advanced. This is something you do want to land on. It's something good that you've done, and you're going to be rewarded bonus points because of this good action, and you then need to unpack the benefits of this good thing that you've done. Okay, that gives you like an overview, but you don't have to remember them by heart because each activity does tell you how to respond. Okay, so let's actually get started with the game. So when you're ready, you've got all your participants in their teams ready to play. You're going to click the ready to roll button on the bottom right. Okay, you can then auto nominate. So what that's going to do is it's going to randomly select somebody in one of the teams to roll the dice, and it'll tell you who it's selected here on the big screen that you're sharing. So I can see that Hans Sitzman has been selected, and you'll notice on his WhatsApp he gets a roll button. Click roll, and the dice will then roll on the big screen for everybody to see. Okay, the activity is then going to show up on the big screen here and also on everybody's phones. Okay, I haven't had a good start as I've landed on a lapse. Take note that for live games there is a timer attached. So this question, I now have 95 seconds left to respond. Okay, as the facilitator you do have controls. You can pause that timer here if you want to have a bit of discussion, explain, or something like that. You can also restart the timer so that it starts from scratch. Okay, so now the attendees need to answer. Remember, they can answer with a voice message, which I do recommend, especially if you're a slow typer. It allows them to kind of express themselves naturally. Or they can type a message, and in some cases they'll specifically be asked to take a photo of something. I'm going to respond with a text message here. Okay. Then sorry, I forgot to start the timer. I've submitted my answer as an attendee. While the AI has a look at that answer, do take note that the person who rolled the dice name and their corresponding team will appear in green on the leaderboard. Okay, so the attendee has now submitted his answer and received some personalized feedback. So in this feedback, it'll tell them what they've done well. In this case, I didn't do very well. And then it's going to give me some suggestions on how I could potentially improve that response. As an attendee, I actually do have some time left. So there is an opportunity to resubmit by adding some of these suggestions and potentially improve my score, which is currently on -40. So I'm going to do exactly that. Pause the video and resubmit a better answer. Okay, so I have drafted a better answer using some of the feedback that was given to me, and I'm going to submit that. Okay, and let's keep an eye on the leaderboard. Okay, I can see that I've improved significantly. I previously got a developing rating and now I'm on to master. Once again, it's going to tell me all the good things that I said and how I could even improve that answer further. Okay, so currently on -30 points. So when this time is up and you're ready to move on, you can click the done button. Once you click done, it closes the gates and nobody is able to submit any further answers. what it will then do is reveal a suggested response on the big screen, and it also gets sent on WhatsApp to all the individuals. And this is what the AI used to compare their response against, to give them that assessment. Okay, when you're ready to roll, we can repeat this process. There's nobody else in the room, so if I auto-nominate Hans, it's going to get the dice themselves. There is also the option for you to roll as the facilitator. You can click roll dice, which will roll for everybody. Okay, so now we've got a new activity for everybody to answer. Once again, take note of the time ticking. This is the activity, and everybody is going to submit their response. Okay, I'm going to pause the timer while I submit the response. Okay, so I've added my response, sent that in. Okay, and there we go. I've done well, scored a master rating, and earned myself 30 points to get back to scratch. And once again, I could maybe improve that even further by reading my feedback here and submitting a second response if I still had time left over. But in this case, I don't, so I think I'm going to have to be satisfied with the points that I have earned. Okay, facilitator clicks done, closes the gates, and the suggested answer is revealed. Okay, so this is the kind of plain cycle that we go and repeat until we've worked our way through all of the activities. Do remember it's meant to be an interactive session, so use your discretion where you would like to pause and have some discussion, have some people maybe reveal what they submitted as a group discussion. And yeah, the only limitation of this basic facilitation technique where we use the big screen display to actually control the game. So we use the buttons at the bottom here, and that's perfectly fine for facilitating. The only limitation is that as the facilitator, you are not able to see the suggested response ahead of time. So sometimes you might want to kind of squeeze the sponge and guide your attendees in the right direction, and being able to get a preview of the suggested response can kind of help you help them, guide them in the right direction. To be able to do this, there is a advanced facilitation technique. It does need you to be comfortable operating multiple windows or two screens where you have this screen shared for everybody to see and a different screen opened on your laptop. And if you think that's for you, then I'll share that in the next video.